Hello, everybody. Today's been an interesting day with the death of the dictator in North Carolina. And the other day we had a situation of a 73-year-old lady, Deloris Gillespie, there you go, was burned to death by a Jerome Isaac. And apparently this 47-year-old guy set up a some sort of spraying device and sprayed her down with a flammable liquid. Set her on fire because supposedly she owed him $2,000, and she had fired him because he was allegedly stealing from her. But as we can see on video, not that I want to watch it, essentially, there's nothing to allege about the fact that he set this lady on fire and did a job on her and kept on shooting flames on her and burned her to death. Probably one of the most horrific deaths one could have. And of course, I'm sure the whole focus will be on this poor man who was abused or whatever as a kid or whatever, and essentially we're going to forget about the pain and suffering of this lady inhaling flames and dying this horrific, miserable death that you wouldn't wish on the lowest form of animal. And yet this mutant, as Bob Grant would say, will be rewarded by a few years in captivity, where he won't have to come up with food, he won't have to come up with medical, he won't have to come up with heat, housing, rent. The society's going to take care of this man better than some people in old senior citizen housing shoved away, and he'll have all kinds of advocates for his rights. This is totally disgusting, and there's certain crimes that should be punished with the most severe penalties imaginable. There is no punishment, as far as I'm concerned, that is cruel and unusual when you come to a low life like this. Bring back Hammurabi's code. This guy. And people like them. There's people who rob convenience stores and they kill everybody there because they don't want witnesses, you see. They think nothing about taking a life, and we as idiots don't have a problem with that. Yeah, we'll say, oh, isn't that terrible? And pretty soon they'll work this thing, and a lot of lawyers will make a lot of money. And meanwhile, this lady went through this life and ended her life, or had her life ended for her in such a horrific way that there's nothing that we could do to this mutant that can either bring her back, and the courts will basically handle him with kid gloves. Maybe when he's in jail, maybe someone will do us all a favor and take care of him, like they do with a lot of these serial murders who kill children and stuff. Or but the fact of the matter is, we really have lost our way in terms of how we relate to such animals and how we deal with such animals. Apparently she notified the police about the fact that this guy had access to her apartment, and just that alone had stolen keys. Just that alone should have been enough to have them investigate this thing, find out who he was. Apparently she didn't have the complete identity as to who this guy was, but they should have just thrown him in jail at that point. And now she's dead. There's cases where people have burned out toll people in the subways in their booth, and you wonder what happened to them. How the heck, the fact that they this should be definitely mandatory life and hard labor, but you can't ask people to work when you put them in jail like that for horrendous things. So that's where we are with that one, and of course then we had these kids who were beating up a homeless guy down in South Jersey, and the one kid was 17, so he's released to his custody of his parents. I mean, that's an adult crime. I mean, how the heck could you have a kid like that? Anyhow, let's we'll move on to another subject on another YouTube. But yeah, the burning up of this Miss Gillespie has to be the low of the low, and this stuff goes on and on and on, and most of you people really don't have too much feelings about it. You might be more interested on a score of a football game. You probably take more emotional trauma by worrying about who won a particular game or something. Anyhow, take care.